Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you clicked on the channel or on this video, you'll see that we've got more problems coming out of our 2JZ swapped E46. So what I'm running into is huge amounts of oil being burned off. So there's definitely an oil leak somewhere. I even got it coming out of the intake manifold. I've got it coming out of the turbine housing. There's oil all through the intercooler. So I'm looking at either valve seals being bad, which wouldn't really explain the smoke coming back through the intake manifold, or what's more than likely is my turbo is leaking oil pretty bad. Because not only is it coming through the intake side, it's also coming out of the exhaust. So we're going to try to chase that down, see what we can find. Okay, so as you guys can see pretty clearly, I've already started taking apart most of the turbo. In fact, it's just the exhaust housing that's actually still physically attached to the manifold. So this is what I was able to get for a drain thus far. It's not ideal because it takes a 90 right there, huge sweeping bulge down there. Now I know this line as it sits is too long, and I know the 90 isn't ideal, but anything else and it makes contact with the pedestal, and then my other option to clear the pedestal, which is how I did have it, requires such a drastic angle on the feed that it was kind of just pulling up in there, and that's where I think it was pushing oil into the compressor and out the turbine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't take this apart a little bit more and figure out what is actually causing the issue. So we'll go ahead and pull this out, take it over to our table that's not been cleaned in forever. Alright, so for starters, we'll pull the turn line off because that's going to get shortened no matter what. There's no way around that. I think I may have just flipped this around the wrong way. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pop these out. So before I had it angled away. Yeah, see, I don't really have a choice but to angle it away because it makes that contact. So really not too pleased with this particular turbo. It is a CX Racing turbo, so it's not anything special, nothing super, it's not a Precision or Garrett, which is honestly what I should have gone with. And I started out with just the CX Racing one because obviously it's cheap, and I was still wanting something that I didn't mind if it broke because of something I did wrong. Obviously when you are just starting out, you know, a lot of mistakes are made, as you can see. And say, for instance, I had bought and, you know, spent $1,200 on a precision turbo and clocked it the wrong way and starved it of oil. There's a big difference between replacing a $1,200 turbo versus replacing a $600 turbo. So I bought the one I wasn't going to hurt the wallet too much if I broke it. Alright, so it doesn't look like I have much of an option on this turbo as far as how that oil drain needs to go. So the second part is just going to be shortening our return line, which I'm really skeptical about taking a hot or a cutoff wheel to, because there's definitely gas in the oil. And I don't want these sparks flying. Oh well, I guess we have to. Didn't burn as bad as I thought it would. So we got that shortened, throw it back together. Hopefully that's long enough. So hopefully this solves all our issues. Go ahead and throw our fitting back on. See if I can do this without fraying too bad. That went on pretty well. So we got our return line set. So we'll throw this back on the turbo. Hopefully everything fits, and then we'll start putting our turbo back together. Alright, so we got it reinstalled. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It took a lot of that bulge out. Now that it's straight down there. Still not 100% ideal because of this right here. But as you guys saw, we don't have much else we can do to get that and still keep this vertical feed. So we'll make this work. And if it doesn't work, then we'll start from scratch with a whole new hot side. All right, so we got the turbo mostly reassembled. I gotta tighten down the bolts back here for clocking the turbine housing or the compressor housing. I decided to reroute the way the charge pipe runs just because it was having issues clearing right here, and I got tired of trying to cut out the wall and make things fit that way. So I'll run it basically down and through. It'll come out down here.
I'll probably face that out this way some more, and then just run it straight across with the intercooler. The big thing is I just gotta make sure this comes out level to where the charge pipe one's gonna come out. But again, that's where we're at. Throw the throttle body back on, tighten those bolts back on, and we should be able to run it just to see if we took care of that smoking issue.